from the bottom to the top. Henny on his gun and never stop. And he always punching in the clock. In the clock. Bought a Lambo at the lot. Came out from the bottom, going straight up to the top. Why y'all niggas sleeping? Yeah, he punching in the clock. And they call him Mike Barron, bought a Lambo at the lot. And he on his gun and it never ever stop. Came out from the bottom, going straight up to the top. Why y'all niggas sleeping? Yeah, he punching in the clock. And they call him Mike Barron, bought a Lambo at the lot. And he on his gun and it never ever stop. If you sleeping and you dreaming, you're not grinding enough. You're not trying to work hard, you're not trying to come up. Never put your head down, always keep your head up. Might go help you build your legacy up. You know he be scoring, he be running up them numbers like he Jordan. You can go follow my mans, he was on the forces. Put some bread in my pocket, now I look like I'm soaring. You know he be scoring.
Alrighty, good morning everyone. Happy Saturday. Let's get this room buzzing because we are about to go all the way in. And I already know this right here is a room full of real ones. First off, let me say this. I know it was July 4 yesterday. You probably have spent the day chilling, hanging with the family, fireworks, fun, food, or maybe a little bit of much of both. And look, you had every excuse to skip today. You could have hit snooze, stayed in bed, and said, let me catch the replay. But you didn't. You showed up, and that's what separates you from everyone. Because while most are recovering from the barbecue, you pulled up here because you're ready for growth, for clarity, for next level strategy. And trust me, you are going to be glad that you did. Because this is not just any other basic training. This is a straight up masterclass with someone who is not just successful. He has actually built and engineered over $25 million in sales through. And today he is here to show you how you can do it too. All right, let me introduce this man in the right way. So he is first a certified digital architect. He has been doing this for 5 years and scaled from 7 figures to 8. He knows how to reverse engineer an offer that makes people say yes before they can even hear the full pitch. He's strategic and savage when it comes to stacking irresistible value. Y'all, this is Jake. And if you're smart, you will be all ears today because what he's going to drop today isn't theory. It's tested, it's real, and it's profitable. So one more time, I need everyone's cameras to be on. I am not going to get started unless I see your beautiful faces. We want to see your beautiful and handsome faces on this beautiful Saturday morning. There we go. I see some cameras turned on, but I still see some of it off. So please turn it on. If you don't have any background noise, feel free to unmute yourself. This is something that is like interactive. So if you have questions, feel free to send a message in Zoom or click raise hand in this Zoom button right here. Okay? Can I hear from There we go.
Good, thank you.
Okay. Help me give it up for the one. Let me see if Jake is here. He is actually here. Let me ask him to turn his video on. And I need everyone to send a rocket. If you're excited, if you're ready, send a rocket in the chat. And help me give it up for the one and only Jake. Let's go.
What's happening, everybody? Thank you so much for the intro. I feel like that was too much because I'm just here, building businesses. So that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. But I will say this, much more hype on this call. I did Tai Lopez's coaching call Thursday, and you guys got so much more going on. So I appreciate the intro, but I am here, everybody, to teach you about offers. This is something that I'm super passionate about. Really, I've been in this business. I'll show you. I got some screenshots. I've been in this business for almost 10 years now, buying courses, doing the online thing. And the biggest turning point for us has always been having the right offer. So I'm super excited to introduce you to this training. Let me share screen really quickly. I'm just going to wait till everybody can see, and then we will get started.
We see it.
All right, good. Awesome. So let's jump into it. So again, my name is Jake Setterlun. I've been doing this for almost 10 years now. And over that time, I have had a lot of successes, but I've also had a lot of failures. I actually didn't make a lot of money for the first few years in business. And since then, since having some success, I've been able to take 8 different businesses to 7 and 8 figure run rates. We've done a lot of different stuff, online in terms of with ClickFunnels, getting awards, Inc. 5000, being the #1 GHL agency. So, a lot of different accolades, in terms of some of the successes that we've had. But I had the screenshot in here. This is from 2017. This is when I bought my first online course, digital course, after kind of spinning my wheels in the entrepreneur space for a little bit. So it's been a long time coming in terms of everything that I've done. There's been a lot of successes along the way, but I like to show this screenshot right here in terms of revenue, because you can see, back in 2019, getting started with our first, I guess with this Stripe account, we had businesses and failures before then, but really not making a lot of money up until this point right here. You can see that something clearly happened at that point. And what was responsible for that was a lot of different things in terms of our offer that we changed that allowed us to scale our online business. And again, since then, we've generated $25 million in online rev. We've had multiple other successful businesses. And again, the biggest thing for us in that turning point was having the right offer. And I'm not here today. I'm not going to just teach you the basics of, have an offer that solves a problem. Yes, that is a part of what I call the offer code, which we're going to get into. But we also have what we call purple ocean offers. And everybody talks about blue oceans and having a blue ocean offer. We created and we developed this unique idea of a purple ocean offer, which is how to actually position yourself in the market. And at the end of this training, I actually have an AI agent I'm going to drop for you guys. It's just through ChatGPT that you can plug your offers in and it'll spit out a purple ocean offer for you. So I got that for you. And everybody that has went through it, it's been like, oh shit, like this is the best thing in the world. So I'm super excited, but we are going to start from the basics, which is the offer code, which is putting together an offer that your customers actually resonate with. And a lot of times, starting off in business, you're putting together these offers, you're trying to sell something online, but you're not really thinking of what you're actually doing. You're just saying, hey, I can do X, Y, and Z. And you're not thinking about the big picture. And the biggest thing, the biggest trend that I'm going to be teaching through this training is thinking about your offer in the customer's eyes, not your eyes. Because so many people are like, this is what I feel like people need, but they're not thinking from the customer's perspective. And to start off the offer code, what I really, really love to teach people is the bridge analogy. Now, this isn't my unique thing. Back in the day, I went to an event and an individual, I forget his name, but he had this bridge analogy of how to do marketing and how to approach a lot of different things in businesses. And we took this and we applied this to offers. And the whole point of it is that you have this bridge, and we can see down here where your customer, because that's all that matters. This is where your customer is currently at. It's their current state. And then they have their desired outcome. This is where they want to get to. And in between, there's this gap. And your offer is bridging the gap between where they're currently at and where they want to go. And where they want to go, a lot of times people are focused on money, a better life, an empire, whatever you're trying to sell somebody. And based off of your individual, this desired outcome has to change. So if I'm going to be using a marketing agency as an example throughout this training for offers, and you'll see how we actually display the offer to the customer is different than how I would actually be pitching somebody if I was trying to sell them coaching services or something like that. Whereas with coaching services, most people are just worried about making more money. Whereas you'll see with the offer that we have for you today, as an example, based off of selling to insurance agents, they want more policy seekers. They want more customers. So we're going to be using their type of language. So when you're thinking about desired outcome, you're really thinking, okay, what does the end customer actually want? And then again, your bridge is the offer. And part of that is having a step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, a unique mechanism, which we're going to be getting into today. But again, the biggest thing starting out is where they currently at, and then where do they want to go? So the first principle of having an offer, again, these are the basics. The offer code's the basics, and then we're going to get into the fun stuff. which is the Purple Ocean offer training. But having a niche down offer, you have to speak to somebody. If you're out there just saying, I help everybody do anything, you're never going to be able to resonate with anybody in terms of your marketing, which is a key to scaling. If you can't go out there, you can't run ads to attract individuals. Even doing content, it's very hard to attract your ideal customer and then position a product that they actually want to buy. And if you go too broad, you end up just really not being able to hit home on the emotions of that individual. So starting off with the basics, again, I mentioned I have a marketing agency example for you today. Whereas before, let's just say somebody's getting started. This is what we do as a marketing agency. We do Facebook, Google ads, website builds, SEO, and all of, just all of these different marketing things. And the transformation here with being niched down is we are a marketing agency that helps insurance agents. So we're picking a specific niche. And one of the biggest things, because, everybody always asks, Jake, how do I pick a niche? Do I go after money? Do I go after, potential opportunity? And I think if you're at a certain level, that's absolutely a valid way to think about it. But if you're just starting out, the best way to actually think about what niche I should go into is going to be what you have experience in. In this example today, I'm going to be going over a marketing agency for insurance agents. I would go in and I would start that if I actually had experience as an insurance agent. When I got started, we had a marketing agency for real estate agents. Now, I didn't have real estate experience, didn't know a lick about it, but my partner knew a bunch about it. He was a previous real estate agent. So for us, when we got started, when we got into business together, it made sense for us to sell to real estate agents because he knew about it. So starting off, find a niche that you actually have experience in, a family friend in, somebody knows something about it that you can then leverage their experience to position yourself up front. So again, starting off, we want to be niche down. Next is we want a productized structure. And what this is we're now going to start to think of our product, our service. You can see over here, we're just kind of offering everything to everybody. We do Facebook, a little bit of Google, websites. We do a bunch of different stuff, a lot of different offerings. And the biggest way to scale your offer is going to be having a productized offer, because you need to create a machine, and you can't have a machine that just does 100 different things. When you think about putting a machine together, it does one very specific thing very, very, very well. Even like a physical machine, it makes one type of product very well. It's the same way we want to think about business, is we want to do one thing very well. And the biggest thing I do recommend too, when we think about, okay, how do we actually productize our offer, is also thinking about what's a quick win I can get somebody. If your offer takes a year, 2 years, 3 years to deliver, how can I start to get somebody something tangible in their hands, service, consulting up front? So even if my service takes a little bit, that I do want to be delivering up front. So that is something that you do want to think about when you start to think about productizing your offer. But we can see here the transformation on this is we're a marketing agency for insurance agents. Over here, we're doing the same thing, but you can see we do one specific thing in this transformation piece. Instead of doing Google, Facebook, websites, all this stuff, all we do over here is we have a very productized offer. First, we're going to set you up Facebook ads. Again, that's a quick win. They can get some leads in the door very quickly. Then they're going to automate the back-end lead nurture with GHL, which is a CRM. They're also going to get CRM account access. They're going to get weekly reports, one-on-one onboarding, and we're going to price that for now at $2,000 a month. So it's a productized offer. I can build a team around it. I can onboard somebody, and when I onboard somebody, it's exactly the same process every single time. I'm not switching things up. So next we get into, now that we have a productized structure and we're niched down, we're going to start to think about what's the transformation that's happening. How am I going to get somebody from point A to point B? We looked at this map before, and what we want is we want our offer to be the transformation. We don't want to just have an offer. And you can see before where it's like, Facebook, CRM, onboarding, like all this crap. Yes, it's a productized offer, but it's not transformational. It's not a clear path of, hey, this is step one, this is step two, this is step three. So we're going to want to transform our offer into something that's actually transformational in the customer's eyes. So the customer really feels like, okay, when I get onboarded, every single piece, every single step of my offer is taking them to that end goal of where they want to get to. So again, the transformation here is I do Facebook ads for insurance agents. We offer all this crap and we transform this into something that is very tangible. It's very step by step by step. So starting off might be my offer is first off, we're going to set up targeting for you to help find people that are interested in insurance policies. Then we're going to set up Facebook ads for you to find those life insurance leads. We are then going to qualify those people with automations. And then we're going to book those people into a booking software or to a CRM for you. So my offer is transformational. I can't run Facebook ads without targeting. I can't have lead qualification without leads. So it's this transformation that's happening that you're explaining to them with your offer. And again, it's step one leading into step two into step three, and so forth. And this starts to, in the customer's eyes, they see the transformation. They see what they're buying. It's not just, hey, you're going to, come in, get all this stuff. You're buying into the transformation and you're starting, again, going back to the bridge analogy, you're starting to sell the dream. You're selling the transformation. You're selling the journey in addition to just selling a specific product. So that's the transformational piece. And then we get to kind of some of the more in-depth pieces. And this is going to be something of why it actually is important for you to understand what you're selling. You're going to have to realize what's the actual profit margin on what I'm selling. And for everybody, no matter if you're selling a coaching product, high ticket offer, agency services, the biggest thing is looking at a 10 to 15% cost to fulfill. Now, the reason that we want to have this at such a low amount starting off is that at scale, you're going to have marketing expenses. You're going to have to pay closers. You're going to have to pay a team. You're going to have software expenses. And yes, up front, you might be running a 90% profit margin and 80% profit margin. But at scale over time, that's going to shrink and shrink and shrink. And, like I mentioned, we have some businesses that do $10 million a year, but the profit margin, it's not that great. It's, 20% profit margin, 30% profit margin, because at scale, you have so many expenses. And you even thinking like a 5% processor fee, that's an expense. And at scale, that's a lot of money that you have to think about. So looking at this, we can start to piece together an actual, legitimate price for our offer. So again, over here, we have our transformational offer. We were at $2,000 a month, but let's just say we have a big setup fee up front. We have to do all of this work. And then after we do all the work, it's set up, the system's good to go. So then it's just kind of smooth sailing from there. So we might want to tag on $1,000 setup fee for those specific individuals. It costs $500 to set that person up. So we're going to tag on that $1,000 setup, and then we're going to charge $2,000 a month. So now upfront, first month, we're hitting that 80 to 90% profit margin. So profit margin's in check. We have a transformational offer. We're niched it down. Next, we want to get into logical value perception. And what this is basically is, does it make sense? Does the offer and pricing actually make sense to the customer? And a big thing here is that, we have a lot of setup up front with this type of a service. We're doing a lot of work up front, but month over month over month, there's not a lot of work to do, especially with these people. They might not have a huge ad budget or marketing budget. So it's very easy for our team to fulfill. And these people aren't stupid. The people that you're selling to aren't stupid. So we're going to redo our we're going to redo our pricing to make a little bit more money up front. And then on the back end, we're going to be like, hey, it's just $100 a month for support. So we're going to go from $1,000 setup to $2,000 a month to a $4,000 one-time fee. And then on the back end, it's $100 a month. Not only am I going to be able to sell more people at this pricing, but again, it's going to make sense to the actual end consumer, because I can go out there and say, hey, everybody else in your market, they're charging you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month. They're not doing anything month over month. All of the setup is up front. So I can say that to people. I can be like, hey, I'm on your side. I want to tell you a secret about the industry. And now we're going to make all of our money up front. We have a good profit margin because we're doing all that work up front for them. And then on the back end, obviously, we want a little bit of a reoccurring. So we're going to charge $100 a month for support. And that's what we're going to do. And it's very similar. And when you look at pricing at scale for your offer, when you're doing millions and millions of dollars a year, one of the things I like to do is look at big industries. What are they doing? How are they priced out? We look at school being very popular nowadays, where it's a little subscription every month. You get all this value. It's very similar to a Hulu, to a Netflix, where they're going for a mass play. So when you think about at scale, at market, what is everybody buying? Most people are not buying thousands of dollars of services every single month. They're buying these different things. So again, look at big markets in your space and look at what their pricing structure is and price it accordingly from there. So we've put together a logical value perception. We have a better pricing and a better offer for the customer that actually makes sense to them. And then now we want to solve a real world problem. We want something that is top of mind. We want something that we are selling people that is actually what they're going to buy. Now, thankfully, with this offer, we have appointment bookings as kind of the main deliverable. And then all we're going to do is layer on a guarantee. We're going to guarantee them appointments, because if we look over here again with our bridge analogy, this desired outcome, they're going to associate appointments with money. When an insurance agent thinks, oh, I got somebody on my calendar for the week, they're going to associate that with money. So I'm not going to come in here and I'm not going to say, hey, I'm going to guarantee you that we're going to get you, make you $50,000 or $100,000. Because to some people, again, yes, everybody wants to make more money, but you really need to get granular with the problem that you're solving actually feels tangible. You're not just slapping a dollar amount on it. So again, here, we are going to focus on appointments, delivering appointments, but then that's also going to be the guarantee on the offer to make sure that, again, that's something that we're delivering on and they're going to be buying and seeing the transformation when they're buying from us. So we've taken a general business that offers just a bunch of crazy different stuff. You could apply this to AI agencies. You could apply this to coaching businesses. You just do a bunch of stuff. And now we have a offer that is transformational, niched down. We have a guarantee. We have pricing that makes sense. But this isn't enough. This is still a red ocean offer, because there's still hundreds of people that are out there trying to sell Facebook ads to insurance agents. So this is the offer code. This is putting together an offer that speaks to your customers. But what we want to do is we want to take this one step further now. And we want to have a purple ocean offer. And like I mentioned before, this is something that we've developed. This is our proprietary method of how we craft winning offers. And when you think about offers with a red ocean, a purple ocean, and a blue ocean, red ocean, it's a pretty known thing where it's a very large competitive market. It's very saturated, and these individuals are very solution aware. But what you're also selling them, they've heard before. So an example for this is I help X, Y, and Z scale with proven DM ads. If you're in the coaching space, you've heard about DM ads. It's just what it is. Same thing over here is I help insurance agents scale with Facebook ads. It's very red ocean. It's very, I know, I've heard about this, a lot of competition. I've been pitched by this 1,000 times. I've probably even tried this before. That's red ocean. Now, blue ocean is something completely new. And a lot of individuals pitch, got to have a blue ocean offer, got to have a blue ocean offer. And what we've found with blue ocean offers is sometimes they can be a little bit too alien. They can be too unique. An example with that is I help X, Y, and Z, so insurance agents scale with Hulu ads. So not only is it something unique, yes, you're going to get some attention, you're going to get some clicks when you're marketing it, but you have to sell that person that is actually going to work, that's actually something that they want to buy, but then also that it actually works, because they haven't heard in the market, like, oh, that's something new, that's something unique. They don't even know that it works. So now you have two hurdles. You have to sell yourself, and you have to sell that the product is actually going to work. Where in a red ocean, the benefits of it is they already know that it works. They might have tried it before, but they know that it works because they hear about it so much. So what we've done is we've taken that red ocean, put a blue ocean offer spin on it to create a purple ocean offer, which is taking a red ocean offer, because again, the end user know that it works, and just putting our own unique spin on it, so that we can still fish and we can still compete in this large market where there's a lot of buyers. We're not trying to sell something crazy new that people have never heard of. The people are ready to buy. We're just putting our own spin on it. So in terms of a purple ocean offer, we have three different key pieces to having a purple ocean offer. The first being having something proprietary, having a secret sauce. And what you want with this is going to be the reason that somebody buys, but it's also this proprietary secret sauce is the reason why somebody is going to have success with you versus somebody else. So again, over here we have this offer. Everybody can go copy this. There's nothing proprietary about this, nothing at all. And one of the biggest things that we did, I mentioned having, let me go back there so I don't ruin my diagram. One of the biggest things we did when we first got started with the marketing agency for real estate agents is we came in here and said, hey, we're going to help you target these motivated buyers and sellers, but we have our own unique market exclusivity with this homeowner network. We're going to help you tap into that homeowner network, ID your future customers, and then we're going to help you show up everywhere in front of those individuals. Now, secret for you all, this is just Facebook ads. This is Facebook targeting. But what we did is we took that uniqueness, that proprietariness. Yes, we had our own way of doing the Facebook targeting. We took that and we put our own unique spin on it. So if you have a coaching business, a high ticket offer, you probably have something that's super unique to your business of the way that you deliver for your customers, whatever you do. You're going to take that and you're going to put your own unique spin on it so that it feels like it's your secret sauce. It's something unique. And what we were able to tell people during the sales process is that, hey, guess what? With everybody else, everybody's fishing in that lake. Everybody else, you got everybody lined up on shore. They're all fishing for the same fish. Because we have our own data, we have our own homeowner network, we're going to create your own lake for you. We're going to give you your own lake, and these individuals, or excuse me, nobody else is going to be allowed in your lake. You're going to have exclusive access, and you're going to be able to fish for these buyers and sellers on your own, and that's going to give you an edge over your competitors. So that's how we were able to position it with our offer that, hey, we got this proprietary data, nobody else does. You can go with somebody else, but guess what? You're not going to get the results that we're able to get you. So an example of this with our example with Facebook ads for insurance agents is now we're going to do Facebook ads for insurance agents, but instead of saying targeting people looking for insurance policies, we're going to say in-market prospect latching technology. We have our own unique technology that's going to help you find your ideal customers. And again, for a coaching business, you might be able to say, hey, we have our own unique Jake method, with a TM on it that, is proprietary to us that we help individuals get results with that unique method. So it's something unique to you. It's that secret sauce. So that is having a proprietary method to your specific offer. Next, with a Purple Ocean offer, is starting to think about language. Again, like I mentioned up here before, we have that Purple Ocean offer, but we still want to compete in that Red Ocean because that's where all the money is. So first thing with a Purple Ocean offer in terms of language is negative language. So making sure that we're speaking, we're not saying trigger words in terms of negative language that the end customer might associate with their offer. But then we also want to use consumer-centric language, which is actually speaking to the customer how they want to be spoken to, not how we feel like they want to be spoken to. So an example with a negative language, I'm going to use the word pineapple I'm going to use the example of pineapple on pizza because we use that and we explain that to everybody that we teach this to. It's a very, very, very polarizing thing, pineapple on pizza. Some people hate it. Some people love it. Now, if you think about somebody that hates pineapple on pizza, they're not going to go down to the new pizza shop down the road and order a pineapple on pizza because they know they don't like it. So they're not going to go order it somewhere else. But if I put a spin on it and say, hey, I got a new pizza shop with a tropical pizza, even though it's got pineapple on it, there's a chance that I can convince that person to actually order that pizza because I'm putting a spin on it. I'm not using that trigger word of pineapple on pizza. And it's the exact same thing over here. Chiropractors, as an example, and even really just a lot of businesses hate the word lead. They don't like the word lead. Real estate agents hate the word lead. So instead, I'm going to say, I'm going to find you buyers and sellers, or I'm going to find you new patients or attract new patients for you. So we're not going to use those negative languages that they associate with bad experiences with other companies. Same thing over here. Real estate agents hate the word Facebook ads. So instead, we're going to say we have an in-market demand system where we're able to attract these individuals that are looking to buy and sell. We're just using different language to explain the same thing without using these trigger words. But then we're also going to want to talk to our customers how they want to be spoken to. A lot of us get, with our high ticket offers, we think that we need to speak how we think of, in terms of our language and our knowledge of that specific industry. And with marketing, you have things like SEO, CTR, ROAS. There's these key terms that, yes, we understand them, we live and die by them, but our customers don't associate money with those words. They just think they're these words that you're spitting out that they can't relate to. So when we're actually talking about our system, we want to have language that's actually resonating with the customer. And what I like to do is think about, how would my customer explain my offer to another potential customer? If they had a peer that they were saying, hey, this company does X, Y, and Z, and that's how I want to actually communicate my offer to my customer, not with language that's very, again, that kind of resonates with me. I want to speak how my customer is going to speak to, again, their peers. So the transformation here, we look at it over here, Facebook ads for insurance agents, in-market prospect latching technology. We already got that on lock, but everything else is very generic. So we're going to transform this into the policy seeker system. We're going to say, first off, we're going to help you target in-market prospect latching, or we have our in-market prospect latching technology. We then have omni-channel advertising. So we do Facebook, IG, Google, LinkedIn. We don't do lead qualification with automations. We do application verification. It's a spin. It's just it's a word play, but to an end consumer, what sounds better, lead qualification or application verification? Application verification all day. And then same thing, we don't do appointment booking, we do meeting coordination. And again, all we're doing is we're playing with language to match how the customer is going to be spoken to. And our last example that I have for you is also really looking at competitors. A big thing and a big piece of Purple Ocean offers is that we have competitors. We're playing in a red ocean, because a red ocean, it's where the money's at. It's where we can make a lot of money, but we have competitors. So what do we need to do? We need to make sure that we beat them in every single aspect, that we have better pricing, better deliverables, better guarantee, and pound for pound, we are the no-brainer offer. So that is the biggest thing, that if I'm pitching somebody and they go off and they talk to every single one of my competitors out there, that 10 times out of 10, they're going to work with me and they're going to buy from me, not my competitor. So there's a lot of different ways, a lot of different things that you can actually add in to having a no-brainer offer versus your competitors. But for us, the three biggest things is giving away the farm. So over here, my competitors are just, very standard deliverables. This is what we're going to do with you. But what I can do is I can come in here and I can give them the farm. I can give them bonuses absolutely for free. And it doesn't cost me anything. Giving them a full AI recruiting agent, proven recruiting ads, trainings, etc. It doesn't cost me anything to deliver that because it's already made. Example for coaches might be some secret training or some secret course. But to the end consumer, it's like, oh shit, me versus my competitors, not only am I getting the same product, but I'm also getting these bonuses. And then next, in terms of being better than your competitors, we can look at our guarantee. So over here, our competitors, they might be guaranteeing 10 appointments. What can I do? I can come in here and say, hey, we're going to guarantee you 10 policies in 3 months. Again, who are you going to go with? Are you going to go after your competitors that they're basically just offering appointments? Or are you going to go with you and you're guaranteeing 10 policies? And then lastly is FOMO. So we mentioned having that in-market prospect latching technology. We're going to give you a zip code exclusivity to that license, so nobody else in your market is going to have access to that. But guess what? Quick Google search when I'm on a call with them. I am talking to Jim. I don't know if you know of him. I think he's from your area. I'm talking to him tomorrow. So, hey, if you want to buy, we got to do a deposit today, or we should get you signed up, because I wouldn't want you to miss out on that exclusivity. So again, layering all of those things in, that's when you put everything together that I've just mentioned to not only have a Purple Ocean offer, but if we come back and we look at this analogy, you're seeing your offer. This bridge is your offer, but you have to think this customer has 1,000 different bridges. They have 1,000 different ways that they can get across this valley, and those are your customers. So how can I not only have a good bridge that's solid, that they trust, but that my bridge is the most attractive to that customer? And then all you're doing is you're saying, hey, right here, they come through, and I'm just collecting money before they get to the other side, before they get to that desired state, because they're choosing to go over my bridge versus my competitors. So that is what a purple ocean offer is. And again, a little bit of a checklist for you in terms of validating your offer. Obviously, going through all of these steps is big. But number one, would a customer choose your offer 10 times out of 10? I mentioned that before. Biggest thing, know your competitors, know what they're doing, and be better than them. Is it a transformational and FOMO-inducing offer? Does it feel exclusive? Is it valuable? Is it urgent? And then lastly, do you have that secret sauce that makes you and your offer better than your competitors, and an offer that they feel like if they go with anybody else, they're missing out on because your competitor doesn't have that secret sauce? So again, we look at this over here, Facebook ads for insurance agents. We have the policy seeker system. That's that purple ocean offer with all the deliverables, the guarantee, the exclusivity. If we look at a coaching offer, this might be something that your competitors are offering. And over here, we're going to offer a 10-week course just like they do, but we're going to do a custom road planning session. We're going to do a one-on-one weekly call. We're going to do daily check-ins. We're going to give you 24/7 access support to an AI agent that nobody else has. That's my secret sauce. And then bonus, we're going to give you access to a founder ascension system, and we're going to have a better guarantee with a lower price. And then lastly, looking at an SEO offer over here, we do SEO, website optimizations, all this random crap that's very old school, very traditional. And we're going to put a new spin on it. And we're going to say, hey, we're going to get you reviews. We're going to rank you number one. We're going to get you booked on podcast. We're going to build a referral network out for you. And bonus, we're going to give you an AI receptionist. So it's all about positioning. Having the right offer is about positioning. It's about being better than your competitors, but then also making sure that your offer, going back to our bridge, is transformational. And at the end of the day, is your bridge, is your offer something that your customer is going to choose to go over versus anybody else inside the market? So thank you all for being here. That is our training on offers and putting together a solid offer, starting off with the offer code and then getting into Purple Ocean offers. So I'm actually going to drop the AI agent, if I can find it here really quickly, for everybody in chat. So if you have an online offer, you can simply go into that ChatGPT AI agent, plug in your offer, and it can start to spit out some Purple Ocean offers for you based off your industry so that you can workshop. And again, my goal for everybody today on our call is that you have a Purple Ocean offer, and it is something that you can go out there and have a lot of success in. And again, going back over here, when we look at my results, wrapping this up, we didn't have testimonials at this point. We didn't have testimonials, results, followers, anything like that. All we had was good positioning and a good offer. And that was the key that unlocked all of our success. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you all so much. If you want to drop questions in chat, I can answer those for everybody. But thank you all so much for being here. Again, questions, feel free to drop those in chat and I can absolutely answer those for everybody. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Jake.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So the
chat's disabled.
Oh, the chat's disabled. Okay. I mean,
Thank you, bro.
I don't know how you guys normally run this. I'm down to answer some questions if you want to unmute. I can share the doc for sure.
Yeah, so basically you need to accept our request to promote you as panelist so you can message in Zoom.
Yeah, if we can connect you with somebody, if you got somebody else that you think knows.
Hey, Jake.
What's happening?
What's up, Jake? It's good to see you, man. Hey, I appreciate you hopping on with our group, man. I love the energy, what you got cooking here. So it was awesome to be able to hop on with you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Excellent question. So, hey, you changing the wording, was that a really big difference? Did it make a huge difference? Like
100%. The biggest thing with that is when we were selling to real estate agents or even insurance agents that we do now, they associate negative experiences with Facebook ads. So by us changing the wording helps them start to rewire their brain that like, okay, this isn't PTSD triggering words, not to get all soft, but like that's their thought process. So by having different words, they can start to craft and we can start to help them picture a new experience where they're not just associating it back to a negative experience.
All right, that makes sense.
Hey, Jake, this is Pansella. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to myself and everybody. So how long did it take you? Because I know you've been at this for 10 years. How long did it take you to really get adjusted to this terminology and this fast-paced world that we live in? Because I know right now, more than ever, AI, ChatGPT, all that is so rapidly changing. So how do you keep everything consistent, even though so many other things around you and the technology and the ways of communicating on social media, advertisement, all that, and still get that high ticketed sale, but also make the customer feel that they made the right decision?
It's a really good question. So it's something that I go in waves of. When we were first starting out, super in tune with what was going on in the industry, new things, constantly trying to improve. And we got into our businesses, and about 2, 3 years of having success, we actually took our foot off the pedal a little bit. And this is kind of the negative part of my journey and my experiences. When we took our foot off the pedal, we weren't as in tune with what was going on in the industry. There's about a year where we were negative every single month, because we had this big organization, a lot of team members, and we were constantly putting money back in. And it was from us not having an offer that actually resonated anymore. And that was within 4 to 5 months. The market changed and people stopped buying what we were offering. So it really is like, that's the biggest piece of this whole online industry. It's constantly improving, having new offers, staying up to date. You look at AI and what AI did. That's a large scale type of an example, but like, even going forward in today's market, like, you're always going to have those little new things that people are like going to always eat up. So if you can stay on top of it, and my biggest thing is like staying in the trenches. That's what's going to help you stay top of mind. But it's just something that you have to accept, that you're constantly going to have to be changing, because it's just the world that we live in.
Thank you. I did have another question, but I want others to also have time to ask questions to you if they need it.
For sure. I
Yeah,
think you
raise
just
your hand if you got a question, like virtually raise your hand on Zoom.
Yeah. Thank you, Logan.
Yeah, no problem. Adib?
Adib.
Yo, what's going on? So I was trying to ask you, for people that are like starting their marketing agency, what do you recommend, like, to get their first clients and everything? And I just got on too, by the way, so
Okay, for sure. So I think it really, like, having the solid offer is, because it's kind of a loaded question. I personally believe everybody that I talk with and I teach is have an offer that's going to sell off the jump, because it makes getting your first client easier. So spending some time and looking at what industry do you have experience in, what can you relate to, do you have experience as a real estate agent, as an insurance agent, and then craft an offer that those individuals are going to buy. And then as far as getting your first client, I mean, if you got some money and you want to try to do some Facebook ads or something like that, by all means. But I like the dirtiness of just cold calling people. Find a list and start calling people up saying, "Hey, I got this thing. Do you have 5 minutes? I'd love to show you it." And book meetings. And that's what I did when I got started. We were selling marketing to golf courses. I shit you not, by the end of that first year, every single golf course in Wisconsin knew my name, because I was calling them up and I was being like, "Yo, like, hey, we got this thing. Like, I know I called you 3 months ago, but I want to get it in front of you. I think it's going to do a lot for your business." And
yeah, but what offer, like, what would I show them if I don't have testimonials? And I was thinking about doing a like 2 week $500 offer. I don't know what you think about that.
that's a good question. It depends on your industry. It depends on, how good you look. If you go in, and I've done this, I did this for a long time. I've taken some meetings where I go in there with a blank sheet of paper with Dick All in my hand, and I'm trying to sell them and get money from them. Um, but if you can put together a good presentation, show them what they're buying, put together a good offer, it's something that you can start justifying getting money from those individuals. So like, you really, back in the day, you could get away with just going out and selling some services, but the market's so flooded nowadays. Like, you almost need to focus a little bit on building the business and having structure and something that that looks good, a good website, a good presentation, whatever that might be. Because it shows that like, okay, like you take this serious, you have a good presentation, and that's going to allow you to actually get money. Too many people will just go in and be like, hey, I'm going to, we're going to talk for 30 minutes and I'm going to send you an invoice for 2K. So it like really look at like what's your offer and putting together a good presentation where you're showing them exactly what they're going to be getting from you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Brian?
You're muted, bro. Yo, Brian, you're muted.
My bad, my bad. Damn, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, my bad. Yeah, man, I really loved everything you were saying. Like it shook me. It even made me geek out on some of the things you were saying. I was like, oh, this guy is spitting. Like, especially with the different oceans. That's something I've never heard of. So that was like a big impact for me, and it actually started rolling the ball to freaking kind of plug it into something I want to do. And my question is actually how man, how do I put this? Damn it. Like, man, my bad. I lost it. I had it
It's all
really
good.
good, but if I could go back to it, come back to me.
It's all good. Okay. That sounds good. Dominique?
All right, so this is a two-part question.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about the leaves. So, while you were building your system, did you solely rely on trial and error to discover your system that works for you, or were there key references and resources that kind of really switched the game, those pivotal moments where, I mean, did you have like, was it all intuition and enlightenment, just tapped into your higher mind and everything just worked out like a gravy boat? Or were there key resources that really shifted for you 10 years ago? That's
That's
part one. And then part two is how are you innovating and anticipating future trends in marketing from now incorporating AI?
for sure. That's a great question. So there's two things that I can think of in terms of when I got started that were like the keys that got us to where we're at today. These theories, we weren't that enlightened where we were like, yo, like this is what we got to do and like really seeing the picture that I showed you today. But the two biggest things is I had read a book that it was like the principles of marketing, something stupid, like the basics of marketing when I first got started. But one of the things I'll always remember from that book is saying that the winners in markets, like, looking at startups and products, those crazy people on Shark Tank that have these absolutely random crazy products, those are chances for people. People are going to buy those and it's a chance because they've never heard of it. But when you take an industry and you just tweak it a little bit and you put a little bit of a new spin on it, a little bit of a new way of doing things, those are always the businesses that have the most success. So when we looked at, our business, online business, we were like, okay, like let's have Facebook ads, but like how can we tweak that? And then that's where that proprietary technology came in because it was like we're gonna have this, but we're just gonna put that little spin on it. And then um, the other thing was always just being super fucking competitive. And sorry to swear, but like we're just always looking at like what are our competitors doing? How can we be better? Because in this online space, like that's really what it is. And when you're talking to somebody, they're talking to 3 or 4 other competitors. So I want to make sure that my offer stands out. So it's those two things that were really, probably the seeds to everything that it's grown into today. But as far as like AI and what we're doing with our offers currently, it's super interesting because there's this spread in the market nowadays where you used to have this middle ground of people that would buy mid-ticket services, so anywhere from a couple $100s to a couple $1,000s a month. And we now have this spread because of information. It's so relevant. So that middle ground is dissolving because it's very easy for people to just do the services that we would normally offer. So it's now, hey, we have the super low ticket and then we have super high ticket. So I'm going to either sell all of the knowledge with some AI agents to do it quote unquote, done with you, do it yourself for 17, 27, 97 bucks a month, something super low ticket. And then, hey, if you want like a very custom, hands-on, done for you experience, then we're going to sell you that high ticket product. But like that weird middle ground is shrinking. So that's been the biggest thing for us is we're introducing people into our products with low ticket subscription based stuff. And then on the back end, we have more of our high ticket, we're going to work with you, more custom type of stuff. So that's the biggest thing nowadays. Absolutely. Sergio?
Hey, how's it going, man? Like my brother Brian said about the ocean, that's super dope, man. That's something really unique. And well, I just have an intake, man, because he said pretty much what I wanted to say. But um, the part where you said about finding a pitch and what you have experience in, that right there is like it's like a diamond right there, like because everybody has their own experiences. And to me, like that right there just hit another like uh another epiphany inside my brain about using it for sales, like using my own experiences in life in every aspect, know what I mean? And integrating it into this business, into what I'm doing there. I appreciate that, man, so much, Jake.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, 100%. I will say this, like I'll leave you with that, kind of going off of it is don't chase money, don't chase a market. Every single market, there's plenty of opportunity. It's about having the right offer that people are going to buy. Is
most
really the
definitely.
biggest thing. Yeah.
Most
So,
definitely. Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pancella?
Hi, there's so many questions. I hope we can still stay connected. I really would like to speak to you. Um, I guess someone who has a little experience with a business. I have a photography business, and what I've noticed in the pattern is the communication. So what you were saying about the rivers, the purple, the reds, the blue, it takes time to learn it's a whole new language. You're speaking, a different world. And so being able to visually show that personally helps me, which got me thinking to build a website. Now, what technology do you use to grasp people's attention to help you advertise what you're trying to show that you're not like you're different, because you said build a business, and to do that you have to find different hobbies and interests, which the hobbies and interests that you like, I would like to know, and how you made a business out of that. And like I said, technology and what website, what engineering.
For
I'm
sure.
trying to like go at once and trying to put it all together. But what do you do to get known and seen and heard?
For sure. That's a really good question. So, from a technology perspective, I am a very big uh, go high level person. I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard of them. If not, it's a CRM that has websites, funnels, all this stuff. It's not the best tool in the world, but as like an all-in-one tool, huge fan. You can put together websites, funnels, all that stuff. But when I got started, I started working doing social media and marketing for golf courses because I was a longtime golfer and something that I always just did a lot of. But there was didn't have a lot of success. I was just starting out, and I found a partner. And at that time, I had a lot of experience in marketing, and he was the real estate agent salesperson guy. So I was able to partner with him, and we leveraged his real estate experience to then have success. So that was kind of how we got into the market. But as far as like build, I call them trust assets, which is like authority building, especially off rip when you don't have testimonials and a client base and things like that. There's so many different things out there that you can do. Now you could go down the route of getting free trials, doing free work, case studies, but nowadays it's really that you at the point where you don't even need to do that. I think creating content is a big trust asset. You know, and again, it doesn't have to be the best content in the world, but if I make a YouTube video and I'm just starting out, it's like, hey, here's my 100K DM script. By associating the word 100K and DM script, even though I've never had a customer, it's one of those, it's kind of like in my customer's head, if they're researching me, like that's an authority piece. And I could show them that video during the sales process. Having a good sales process is important, having different certifications, being a part of local communities, but then showcasing it. So if I join my local commerce, Chamber of Commerce, I'm going to put that logo on my website because I'm going to show them and use that by associating myself with that other established business. So it's kind of like trust by association. Again, if I use Go High Level, I could put the little powered by Go High Level at the bottom of my website. Again, trust asset. I'm associating myself with a bigger brand. If I donate to different charities, I'm going to showcase that. Again, you know, not being a scumbag, but like starting out, you have to build trust. So I think content's super important. And then the last thing is getting on podcast is there's places like it's called Podmatch. There's another one called Matchmaker.fm. These are places that anybody
that
can
one.
go out there and get on podcasts. And then you take that, take the recording, take your feature, and now you've been interviewed by somebody else. That kind of starts to make you this local authority. And it's all of those little things pieced together is going to supplement not having any customer reviews or testimonials when you're first getting started, in addition to your personal experience and just having a video that's like, hey, this is me. Again, if I'm my partner in what we did, we said like, hey, I have this experience. I was a real estate agent for 3 years. Now I've taken, you know, my specific lessons that I've learned and I've developed a system that allows other real estate agents to do the exact same thing. So it's that story with everything else I mentioned that allows you to be positioned as somebody that they would actually buy. And then that's going to help you get in the door. That's going to help them trust you. And then if your offer is better than everybody else, like that's kind of that magic formula.
Thank you so much. That was a lot. So I appreciate that.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Brian?
Yeah, hell yeah. My question was, so about getting the price right. How would you, like, how did you price your product service when you were first starting off? Because obviously, you know, when you're starting off, you're still getting experience, right? You're still getting the whole system down. Like, once you got it locked down, you got it done. How would you price yourself? How would you price all this?
That's a good question. Depending on what you're doing for people up
Mm-hmm.
front, if you can, I know so, you know, everybody's in a different situation. At that time, I was living at home, so I could do this, and I was doing free work. I did about 10 to 15 clients for free. I got results for them, or the results that I could get. Not everybody was great, but then I'd get a review from them for doing all the free work, and then I leveraged that into being able to charge. And when I started charging, it was what do I want to make for the work that I'm gonna expect it to be doing? What do I want to charge? And then at scale, I talk about the 10 to 15%, you know, of your fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
That's at scale. That's what you want at
Mm-hmm.
scale. But just starting out, it's kind of like, what do I want to make off of this person? And then as you grow, as you scale, as you bring on team members, as you get more results, just start increasing your prices. And then, you know, another thing too is like, what are your competitors charging? Because, you know, they're also, whatever the customer's willing to dish out is really, you know, kind of the benchmark for the industry. But I will say starting out, like, don't listen to the gurus that are like, yo, go out there and, you know, that's a $10,000 service. Go try and, you know, sell that for 10K because you're just
Mm-hmm.
starting out. Like, nobody knows who you are. You don't have everything that I just mentioned that goes into a trustworthy company.
Yeah, exactly. Cause like I was thinking like cause I'm really good with music and I wanted to always when I was younger, I always loved teaching people how to learn music. And it was like a big dream of mine to like be a music teacher or something. And as the years went by, obviously life happens and stuff. I only recently started to think about that again. And then the whole ocean, blue ocean, red ocean thing kind of just started clicking it all together and stuff. And I was like, man, like I could even do it like this, and I could do this. But then I was like, man, like, how would I charge that though? And then that's why I was asking. But that's freaking awesome, bro. I appreciate your advice, man.
Absolutely. Dude, just go get somebody. Like go find two local people and like work with them and see if you can make it happen and then go from there and just build off it.
I'm an art teacher, so we should connect. I'd love to hear your thoughts, dude. Seriously, I've been an art teacher for 4 years, and I've known in and out of the business. And let me tell you, one of the biggest things as an educator is that there's no money in schools. There's children that are not getting fed anymore, literally. And so, as an educator and as an artist myself, I would like to connect with you and see how we can grow, and then maybe follow up with Jake.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I love
What do you think,
that.
Jake?
I'm down.
Hell yeah.
That
That's what I like to see. Where's everyone else's energy at, man?
Saying, right? They're like,
Opportunities right
I'll
here.
get it
Get
going.
it.
Oh yeah,
I'm
homegirl said,
listening.
"Hey,
Be passionate.
I'm
We
gonna
got to
take
be
that
loud.
opportunity, bro.
I'm
Hell
listening.
yeah,
I'm listening. I like photography.
hell yeah,
I'm
that's
good.
right. Hey,
There you
my
go.
boy
Oh,
T,
okay.
he's about to
Yeah,
make the music videos.
yeah. I'm
I
actually
mean,
into fashion. I'm
I
into
think
fashion
about
and
it too.
everything.
Hell yeah, gonna set up the freaking costumes.
Yeah, I'm into fashion and all that. Yeah. So
Hell yeah. Let's go. Okay, cool. Let me see. Chance, you got a question?
I do, yeah. So first off,
School.
Jake, I am transitioning out of doing sales for an AI agency offer, and so I was just kind of playing around with the chat GPT agent you sent, and I was already working on that, and that's already been very helpful. So I appreciate that.
For sure.
Definitely good. But my question for you, man, is obviously, I mean, scarcity, urgency are some great marketing tactics. Who are your mentors or teachers as you're going through the business and growing through your 10 years? Because I've studied a couple, and a lot of these are similar. So I'm curious kind of who yours were and who you took inspiration from.
For sure. I will say, like, biggest mentor, biggest person that I've ever learned from is the market of, seeing like what's the market doing, what are my competitors doing. But to give you some names, and he's not in the space anymore, Ross Christofoli, he put us on to, kind of visualizing that proprietary technology thing too, and helped me develop that. Ravi Abuvala, I'm sure, a lot of you know that name. Big systems guy, helped us with how do we, look at our business as a machine. Jeremy Haynes, he's a big marketing and advertising guy. Huge in terms of, running ad campaigns, helping us scale. And then Cole Gordon, sales, like shout out to him. He was big for our sales team. So, there's nobody like crazy big, but like it's always been individuals that can teach us very technical skills that we would then go in and apply to our business.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let me see.
Dominique?
I got a
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, shoot.
I noticed like when you talk about the bridge, the desired income and the current state, what was the other? There were three parts to it: the desired income, the current state, and
Yeah.
what else was part of that bridge? Wasn't it three
Um,
layers?
so there's the desired state, there's
Desired state.
so it's point A, which is where they're currently at, their current state. You have their
Okay.
desired outcome, which is their desired state. And then, I mean, every piece is a little bit different, but really looking like a tangible outcome for them, which is not so much money, a better life, better system, more time, less stress. But it's more granular in terms of what do they associate with that outcome. So, an example for the insurance agents was more appointments with policy seekers.
Mhm.
So I don't know the third exactly, but hopefully that answers your question, gives you some
Okay,
clarity.
and then I have one more question, which is really, really important.
Sure.
A lot of this, even like for the background in sales and a little bit of marketing, a lot of these words are foreign. Like this is the first time I ever heard of like blue ocean and red ocean. And so do you have something that you can offer to like, like do you have like a little minor course to teach people what these mean? You know what I mean? Before we actually go into trying to, market. You know what I mean? It needs to be a little more clear to educate us because all of us are getting a lot of information in a short time. We're just learning how to be high ticket closers. You know what I
That
mean?
part,
So,
that part, that part.
you know what I mean? So, do you have something more simple that, even, since you're successful, that you're even, even offering, like a little course or where we could get more information to be
For
more
sure.
knowledgeable in what we're doing?
For sure. Logan, is it okay if I plug?
He said that. He said
Go
that.
for it. Do your thing, man.
Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna
So I
ask
do.
that question, but I was hesitant, and I'm so glad you asked that, Brian, because
For
I
sure. For
think,
sure.
there's a
So,
lot of auditory, but it's the physical doing because we all want to be working together and unite and connect. And in order to do that, sometimes people may, as educator in me, might be more hands-on experience, right? To get the click of it all and the verbiage and how it's put together. The
absolutely.
director. That's where the magic happens. And then we can get Mike and everybody together and
No, just power. You know what I mean? Like
For
that's
sure.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
that's so
So
cool. Yeah.
I guess quick plug then. I do have a school group, SKOOL for those of you who haven't heard, but it's Setterlun University. We have got 2,300 members in there. It's $17 a month, so it's not an arm and a leg. But we like the Purple Ocean, like we have a Purple Ocean offer training where we break down everything, the offer code training, a bunch of other stuff on marketing, sales, etc. So yeah,
Okay.
100%.
So can you drop that in the chat? What is it again? I mean,
Yeah, I
okay.
can drop that for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no, thank you. I mean,
Cool, cool. And then let me see. Devon, do you have a question?
Yeah, I did have a question. Um, I know like as an entrepreneur, it's like you got to be adaptable. You know, one day may be good, next day may be bad. But when you like hit rock bottom, because I'm kind of experiencing that myself right now, and I just want to know like what can you do? Like, what do you do to like stay the course and just dig yourself out of it?
man, that's a good question. Um, I think for me, it's always knowledge, and clarity on my vision, and those two things, and combining them, um, really just helps you like see clear in terms of like where you want to go and giving you the confidence, to get there.
Okay,
So.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, like no real secret strategy on that. I mean, it's really just kind of brute forcing it, but also having clarity and information.
Okay, because I be having some people on my team, and we all talk about it, and we all go through the same thing. So it's like I can just express to you like what I'm going through myself, but it's like I don't really know how to get out of it. Like the way I've been trying to just focus on where I'm going, and it helps. But I be finding times like where I just like, dang, like this is a little tough right now. Like,
Yeah,
and it can't get to you. It can definitely get to you. It gets to me mentally sometimes, but I try to cope with it. That's why I wanted to ask you because I know I'm pretty sure you've been through that too. So I just want to know what do you do when you have anytime you go through that.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Like, what's an example of like, something that, is a limited, like something that you're struggling with in terms of like, where you want to get to?
It's just like I'm making
For sure.
investing in myself. So getting in the course, and then now it's like I'm in debt right now. So I'm trying to come out of it. So it's like whenever may not see the results that you hoping for, or like how do you just like it's cool like just shake it off basically.
For sure.
Because like I've been doing it, but it's like it's kind of getting overwhelming a little bit. So that's why I wanted to talk to some like ask you like how do you cope with that?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So I think part of it needs to be self-confidence. Thankfully, like I am probably, I don't want to say ignorant to a fault, but like, optimistic to a fault where it's like I'm just gonna make this happen and like I don't have any other options. But I understand that not everybody has that, and that's a very like hard thing to say, that it's like, hey, just move forward. And I still have limiting beliefs of, different team members, things not working the way that we want. And, I mentioned our business, took a big hit, and, it was about a month of us losing month over month over month, putting 20, 30,
Yeah.
$40,000 a month
And
back
that
in the
and that
business.
and that resonated with me when you said that. I'm like, dang, I know that was like that was something that was a little tough to go through. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm like,
100%.
he kind of I know he experienced what exactly something that I'm going through right now. So
Yep.
just talk what you definitely helped like clear my mind a little bit. Well, a lot of
Yep.
it actually.
100%. And dude, I mean, it sucks. I think the biggest thing is, definitely have clarity, talk to your team members, talk to the people around you, talk to different peers is going to help you and ease your nerves a little bit, get it a little bit off your chest. But for me, what got me through those times, and even now today, you can break everything down to a KPI, which is a number. If we're, spending $1 in ads, what's my click? What's my lead cost? What's my appointment cost? And then, okay, my appointment cost is this. What's my show up rate? Okay, what's my show up rate? Okay, boom, what's my close rate out of everybody that's showing up? And then, what do those numbers look like? And then how much are we bringing in for that specific dollar amount? And then what's our retention rate? What's our turn rate? What's our refund rate? What's our, dispute rate? Whatever. Everything in your business is a number. And if you can just associate everything, or associate everything, successes, failures, back to a number, and then all you have to do is improve those numbers. And you can start to disassociate from some of the emotion behind failing, and really just looking at it as like a very mathematical.
Y'all be watching stars real quick. Y'all be watching runners.
What was that? Oh,
Oh, I think they forgot to mute.
just a lot. Okay.
My
But
bad. Real quick, I wanted to jump on something Davon was saying, like, because I literally just went through something like that not long ago. And what really helped me, like, push through that was something that I learned in the academy. And it actually helped me, like, just really kind of flip that switch. Because it's like a switch almost. For me, it's like a switch. Random days, I'm feeling pumped as hell, ready to go out there handling business, and then random days, I'm just like,
Feel that.
fuck, like I'm down, like this is like I'm not doing it right, shit's not
Feel that.
working, and it's like it fucks with your head a lot. And what helped me, and it's because of thanks to the academy, thanks to Mike Barron, Logan Perry, shout out, my boy Tommy, shout out to all these guys. It's basically mastering the discipline to stay focused on your purpose. You have to find out what your
Okay.
purpose is and
Good
stay
answer.
focused on it. The moment you can master that discipline is when it starts to fade away. And you have to, right away, when your mind starts to be negative, you got to replace it with positive. Like, nah. And you got to remember what positive thing recently happened to you. So what I focus on is, man, what did I learn in the academy? I learned how to communicate more. I learned more about closing deals. I learned more about being able to maneuver conversations, being able to actually go out and talk to people more, like everything that I've been learning. And I tell myself, like, in the mirror, like I'm like this, and I'm like, dude, what the hell did you just learn? And I'm like, damn, like I gotta stay positive. Gotta stay positive.
Sure.
And
Sure.
trust me, dude, I recommend you, if you haven't, go get the audiobook of Grant Cardone's Sell or Be Sold, because it talks about that. It's like a 90-day
Okay.
dilemma type thing where you're like on fire, but then for some
I'm on the
reason,
90-day run right now.
yeah, you're just like, you just drop, like, boom, like your productivity drops. And it's something that happens psychologically. And the book talks about it real good, bro. Like, I recommend for anybody that goes through that, I strongly recommend you go get that audiobook or that book, right? Like ASAP. Grant Cardone's Sell or Be Sold.
Oh,
Yeah, I gotta write that down.
11 hours long.
I'm gonna say something real
Dropping jewels,
quick.
my boy. Appreciate that.
Hell yeah, my boy. Hey, bro, if you ever need help, bro, like, connect with me, bro. I got you.
Oh, that's a bet. I'm gonna try to connect with you after this.
I just added you, by the way. I
Hell
added
yeah.
All right, cool.
Devon,
Melvin,
Jake.
you got a question, man?
Oh, I was gonna say something.
Yeah, what's up,
Where?
Jonathan?
Oh, I was saying something that David, he was talking about the feeling down, and I was watching. Like, I just recently signed up as well, and I'm still watching the beginner videos. And when something that Mike was saying today was like when you feeling that way, he learned from somebody that he learned from is like start saying to yourself, you know, I like myself, I love myself. Fill yourself with up with positivity so you feel good again, and then you can reset and start over from there. I mean, I think that was good advice. That's all I really gotta say.
Oh, there we go. There we go. That's it. Melvin, you got a question?
I might gotta go to the intro to awareness
Yeah.
again.
So I wanted to ask Jake, like, what are some of your best tips for cold calling and B2B, and some logistical things that I have to make sure of? For example, if I were to call from like a personal phone number, I would get like spam risk if the carrier sees that I have like a lot of calls that are being ended after a few seconds, right? So I know that with Go High Level, you can put together some systems to make sure that like you don't get as much spam risk and all that stuff, right? What other considerations do you think I should also take into account when I am doing cold call B2B?
It's a good question. So there's some good platforms out there like Kixi, if you ever heard of it, where they'll match the zip code with whatever zip code that you're
Okay.
actually calling from. Um, inherently with I feel like a lot of different cold calling, you're eventually gonna hit, spam risk or that kind of stuff. And really just rotating numbers is again going to be the biggest thing.
Okay.
So
Kixi, how do you spell that?
Kixi, Kixie.
Okay, I see. Is that a service that allows you to rotate numbers?
So that'll actually do you can rotate numbers, but then you can do the area code matching
Okay.
between them as well.
I see. Okay, so number one, rotating numbers, and then number two, area code matching. Are there any resources you recommend that because I've been studying from Jeremy Lee Minor, like he has some pretty good advice for cold calling. Aside from him, what other good resources do you think that there is for learning cold calling?
So I mean I not the I like straight line selling, Jordan Belfer,
Oh.
where he's very just like, yo, like, take them from here to here. You want to get them on an appointment, shortest path to get to that point.
Okay.
I'm kind of super bullish on cold calling be very like less manipulative and psychological and more just like, yo, yes or no.
Okay, so being direct has worked pretty well for you.
100%.
Okay.
And then also at scale, what's helped, and this, again, would be a little bit probably harder for you, but like for anybody else, is like with a local market, finding a cold caller to call a local market. So
Okay.
if you're scaling a team, or even if it's you prospecting businesses, like call your local market because you can relate back to that local market versus, one person calling everybody, anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. So finding somebody who's stationed in the area that I'm trying to target, and then that also, I assume, also reduces the risk of spam triggers, huh?
Exactly.
Okay. Also, one very last thing. I'm in your school, by the way. Like I was in.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been in for like a few months. So I was like, wait, I'm in his school. When I saw like the post from Mike, I was like, that's pretty cool. I recognize this guy. Yeah.
Sick. Well, thank you for being in there, man. Yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate
of
it.
course. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. Jake, how good are you on time?
I mean, I got all day, but I do got work to do. So
All right, we'll take about one more question. All right. Let me see. Okay, Patrick, what's up?
Man, chilling. I got a question for you, Jake. Hey, Jake, would you say that, you know what I'm saying, something that helps you get your, you know what I'm saying, mindset right would be like something as simple as listening to like a music soundtrack or like, you know what I'm saying, does music motivate you to get the mindset to perform to an excellent standard?
yeah, that's a really good thing. I use music a lot. Big Lil Baby guy. So like in the morning, in the shower, if I'm struggling that day, like I'll put that on. You know, if I need to chill out and relax a little bit, music, even working sometimes if I'm not on calls. So 100%, it does kind of help just get you in a better positive headspace than it just being super silent and
Yeah.
trying
Okay.
to
Okay.
trying
Hey
to
man, I'm
grind
gonna
it
have to
out.
get some of your playlist, man. You know what I'm saying? Shoot it to Logan, he'll shoot it to me.
Okay,
That'll be
okay.
awesome.
I can do that.
I have one last question. Oh my God.
Say little
Is that
baby.
okay? Is that okay? I have one last question. Is that okay? It's Pencella,
Cool.
the
Yeah.
one and only. Okay, so I'll be super quick because I know everybody has to go. So recently, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and now I'm going through radiation, and I'm learning the business of health insurance and things like that. I was interested in the realtor side. So if um uh because you were saying you got to pick and choose which what hobbies you like and how you can incorporate that into your daily routine to make success. And one is that it is to get involved into the field in medical field, because it's really fascinating, interesting. And the question is that a good direction to get, I don't even know how to get the right sales, to get the right attention, the help in getting the ads out and everything, and using, like, I know you got into realtor. Sorry, my brain is going fast because I feel like everyone's waiting. But if I've gone into the medical field or in the sports field, is that a wrong choice? Like, where is the highest success when it comes to finding different businesses and connections to get those sales going?
For sure. So maybe
Makes
this will
sense.
give you a little bit more clarity on like why
Yeah.
I say go after something that you have experience in. There's two pieces to it. Number one, you want to know the industry that you're selling to. So what do they do? How do they talk? What lingo do they use? Like know everything about them. You know your competitors, other service providers in the industry. Like you know everything about that industry. And then the other thing is more from a branding perspective, which is can you associate your business and your story back to experience in that industry? So hypothetically, you know, if you look at what I did is I had a partner that had experience in real estate. So
Yes.
I,
Yes.
I had to learn the real estate stuff myself. And then I found a partner that I went out there and I just associated myself with them. We had the business. So now I'm checking both of those boxes. An example for you, you know, an example, you could definitely go do that. You could jump in head first into a specific industry, but you could also learn about that industry and then go find a strategic partner as like a senior consultant for your business, call them a power partner, leverage their story on your website, say, hey, this is our senior consultant that has XYZ experience in this industry. And then now you know how to speak the lingo, you know about the industry, and you're leveraging that person's story. So it's not so much about like the easiest thing to do is just take your experience, but if you don't have that, you can just, you know, you can kind of hack that
Learn. Yeah.
by doing those things. Yeah.
And you introduced yourself like, hi, I am sales. Like, how do you introduce yourself to those people who are willing to say, okay, I'll give him the information and train him and let's connect.
Yeah, good question. So I'll usually introduce myself as either the owner or a partner or an account manager of X, Y, and Z
Okay.
company. Depending on who I'm talking to, sometimes I won't say I'm the owner. But then it's simply during the sales process, letting the assets and the information do the talking versus saying, "Hey, this is me. I have X, Y, and Z experience." During my sales presentation, I'll show them the experience, tell them a little bit about our story, how we got to this point, and then through my language that I'm using, I can show them that I have that experience too.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you all
Absolutely.
for your patience.
Absolutely. Cool. Cool. Jake, I appreciate you hopping on again, man. It was good to connect with you on the back end. I'm glad we were able to set this up together. Let me see, dude. At some point, we gotta get you out here in San Diego. Come and visit, man.
We can make that happen for sure, for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll connect on the back end. I got to get up out of here. But yeah, if you have anything else for them, maybe Instagram link they can follow you at, or whatever it is you want to shoot over to them, by all means, go for it, man. The floor is yours. But y'all, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for showing up. Jake, if you have anything else, let them know. Other than that, I'm gonna jump off. All right.
My boy Logan, peace out.
Appreciate
Thank you, Logan. Nice to see you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you, Jake, so much.
Yep.
Happy Saturday. y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for being here. I'll leave it at that. Appreciate you all. Really great questions. If you want to connect, I drop my Instagram in chat. Other than that, again, thank you all. Best wishes. Again, put these principles in practice and just keep at it because you guys are here. That's the first step in the right direction, and just every single day keep at it, one step forward, and you'll get there. So I appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jake.
Come on, man.
Appreciate you,
you
Jake.
guys.
You have a good one, bro.
You too, man. Bye.
All right.